Remember I used to give you lessons too? Go on, let me hear you play something. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and...
So please welcome.
Hey, there you go. Get up when you want a glass of wine. That's always a bit better. So I'm going to talk. I usually do these talks for like an hour, 2 hours. So I've got a really good. I'm going to try and work out. Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to 10 minutes. He's got the butcher's hook to pull me off after 10 minutes. So, but I've got to work out what I'm going to say to you. And I know that you're all risk people and stuff like that. So I think what I'm going to do is talk you through some of the risks I don't think you've thought about, because there are big risks. It was quite right, 30 years as a police officer. The last 7 I was in MI5, working as head of the National Counter-Terrorism Security Office, and in that job, my job was to help businesses understand terrorism, but also serious and organised crime, and how it would and could impact you, and what you need to do. So I'm going to try and pick out a couple of little bits that might be useful to you. How many people here today think that there's a real risk of a terrorist attack at any time? You don't think there's a real risk? Anyone doesn't? What about in Europe? Think there's a real risk of terrorism? Yeah. We're going up, we're going up, we're going up. What about the rest of the world? So why aren't you doing anything about it? What have you done to your staff that you allowed to go out and travel around the UK, around London, around Paris, into maybe the Middle East, maybe across the world? What have you actually done to protect your people that you're sending out there? Because I think you'll find, because the last 7 years I've been out of the police, I've been going around to businesses and actually finding out you're doing bugger all. You send people off, you let them make their own flight arrangements, you send them to hotels that you don't know whether they're secure or not, you do all this, and yet you know that there's quite a bad terrorist threat out there. Let me take you to the next level. How many of you think that there may be a problem with serious and organised crime? Everyone. So what have you done about it? I mean, this could go on, we could go on with this. I would suggest that really businesses need to start focusing a little bit more on some of the risks that perhaps we forget about. Another one for you. How many people here consider themselves a lone worker? How many of you employ lone workers? But what happens when you send someone to a conference in Birmingham, in Madrid, in France? Are they your responsibility? Yeah, of course they are. When you go, you're the responsibility of your bosses. Lone workers, it's a much bigger field than anyone has ever thought about. And I would suggest that everyone in this room works on their own at some stage. And everyone in this room has people that work for them that work on their own. Whether it be in a cafe, in Costa, doing their little bits of work, or whether it's sending them to a conference. When do you think you're sending, who am I going to pick on? You're sending your deputy to go to a conference in Birmingham. Okay, when do you think your duty of care starts? So, from a duty of care, from a legislation perspective, if you've got someone that's working for you that comes into your office every day and they commute to and from, they don't become your responsibility until they step over the threshold of your building. Then they're your responsibility. If you're sending someone to Madrid, Jakarta, maybe China, something like that, or even Birmingham, the moment they leave their house, the moment they step over the threshold of their door, they're your responsibility. So what are you doing to help them understand the threat of terrorism that you've all told me is out there? Have you told them how to react if something happens in front of you? Have you told them what they need to do, what they shouldn't do? Have you told them when they're working in a cafe on a Wi-Fi, the dangers, there's people here from the world of cyber, the dangers of actually working on a Wi-Fi and how you're actually putting the business at risk by doing that. And I've seen demonstrations of people who actually will sit in a cafe, this guy demonstrated it to me, sat in a cafe and he turned everyone's computer off, turned the Wi-Fi off, and then there was a little thing that came up on everyone's everyone's laptop that said, sorry about your Wi-Fi, click on this and you'll be back on. Everyone clicked on that, and from that moment he had control of everyone's computer in that room, in that cafe. Have you told people about this? Have you given them the tools to protect themselves and the business? So for 7-8 years now I've retired from the police, and I can tell you that most businesses don't give enough information to them. And so what I'm saying to you is that this is a major issue. Let me tell you something else that I do, which I think is quite interesting. I do penetration tests. Now, a lot of you will be aware of penetration testing and how people can log into, they try to get you to, well, what I don't do any of that. I can't use computers very well, but what I do is I walk into your building and I put keyloggers into your computers. I sit at the desk, and we were just discussing it. I've actually sat in a bank where I've actually taken all the loan documents out of a cupboard and I stood there photographing them in front of people. And the reason I got into that building was because I told them that I was there from the fire alarm people and I was there to do fire alarms. So where this comes down to is having a security culture. This whole thing that I'm talking about is you understanding that there are lots of risks for your people, and that actually your people need to protect themselves, and by protecting themselves they can protect the business. Having a security culture is about engendering security from everyone in the business, right from the bottom to the top, including the CEO, and they're often the most difficult people to get involved in this. Because if you don't, I can always get through the outer layer of security in your business. Whether it's your computer system, then you need to have the firewalls to stop me interfering with it, but also I can get through your outside doors and sit in your offices. And I'll give you a couple of examples of where I've done this. One was a hedge fund manager who was a very rich man, one of the richest people in the country. You wouldn't have heard his name because he's very he doesn't announce who he is and what he does. And they asked me to do a pen test, and they had thumbprint entrances into the building. They had thumbprint entrances into the main office, and I got in on a Saturday when the relief guard was there. Told them that I just started and I didn't have my fingerprint logged at that time. I walked in, I took photographs of the man's card, registration document. I took photographs of his children. I put listening devices in all the rooms. So when we get into security culture, how many of you actually know what's going on in your building at 2 o'clock in the morning? Who's in your building at 2 o'clock in the morning?
You.
Me sometimes. I don't like to go in at 2 o'clock, to be honest. I don't like night duty anymore. But how many of you know who's in your building, in your office at 2 o'clock in the morning? Who do you think's going to be in there? Cleaners. What do you do with your cleaners? Who does your cleaning? Outsourced. So who are they? Who are these people that are wandering in your building at night? Who else is in the building? Security guards. Outsourced. You pay them £10 an hour, and you leave all your stuff dotted around. Okay, some of you have got clear desk policies. Have a look around your building at night and see just how good those clear desks are.